Hello and welcome to Full Moon's Videozone. I'm Charles Band. I'm sitting here on the top of the former Broadway building on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. We're actually now located here. This is Full Moon headquarters, even though we still have studios in the Valley and we have our big studio in Romania. I hope you all enjoyed The Creeps. It was a blast making this very weird movie. Coming up next on the Full Moon label is Bride of the Head of the Family. Last year in '96, Head of the Family was released and it was very well received. Very strange movie about this huge head and its three siblings. And of course now our big head meets the bride. Another big head happens to be a female head, so you can only imagine what happens after that. After Bride of the Head of the Family, we have Curse of the Puppet Master, Subspecies 4, a whole wonderful lineup of films. And again, I appreciate your watching our movies, and I look forward to seeing you on the next edition of the Videozone.
Enter the rare books annex of Full Moon's Library of Horrors. And check out their new volume in fear. Guaranteed to give you the creeps.
Action!
Charles Band is the head librarian who lends his skills to make this story leap off the page.
Well, the idea of working, even though in this case reduced shape and form with Frankenstein, the werewolf, the mummy, Dracula, with famous monsters, monsters that we all grew up with, was very exciting. And, you know, I thought, got to invent a way to put a different spin on these creatures. You know, we've seen them all in hundreds of movies. And I'm not exactly sure how it came to me, but at some point I figured, well, this would be sort of an amusing way to go, to find a way to bring these four characters back to life, but through some, you know, mishap in the machinery, they come back as 3 or 3.5 foot tall guys.
I think we're still in trouble.
But what turns me on is doing kind of cutting-edge stuff. I mean, we have small budgets, but if we put some quality and passion in the work and the ideas are good and different, it's tough to do something different in the genre. You know, there's been thousands of movies made in the horror fantasy genre. But I don't think there's anything else quite like this. I don't think you can find another story about 4 short monsters. So hopefully we're the first.
Creating the look for the creeps was a literal challenge for Atlantic West Effects, the makeup artists responsible for the creeps' look.
You know, even though it is kind of weird and probably borderline a comedy, I didn't want to, you know, have fun at the expense of the creatures. So when I talked to Gabe Bartalos, who was the makeup effects, visual effects creator of the look of the 4 creeps, I said, let's try to go as traditional as possible. Let's make them really credible, you know, albeit short monsters. And I think you know, we did just that. I think they're effective, and you know, we take them pretty seriously.
We are, in every aspect of the word, the real McCoy. We are the real I Am Dracula, and it's I know for the audience that it would probably be something that would have kind of a funny tone to it, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm playing the part as serious as possible. I mean, being a little person, I would never ever, as an actor, ever get to play a part of Dracula. I would never ever get that that opportunity, and we're doing it here, and I think it's coming out really, really well.
I just happened to be, they happened to be just walking down the street. They said, hey, you, get in here. And before I knew it, I looked in the mirror. This is what happened. I mean, and no, actually, you tried out for it, kind of went, I wonder what the guys who tried out and didn't get it did. I don't know. Maybe they... I don't know.
I love getting in these kind of situations, actually, because in my other movies and stuff, I became really close friends with my makeup people, and because they are there 24 hours with you. I mean, as long as you're there, they got to be there, and you become friends and get to talk to them and stuff. And this is another really good group of people. You know, they're very, very nice because they've been through it all, and they know the long hours, and they can. What's fun about them, or what's good about them, is they can understand the problems that you're having. You're like, I know, you know, most of them have been in it too, and you know, they can relate to your, like, I know it's hotter than heck or whatever, and let me do this for you. So, and it gets very fun. It's very cool.
Again, the problem with a short schedule is you discover something sometimes 7 days into your schedule, and you think, God, this is a great gag. Let's have the Wolfman drooling all the time. And then you start doing it, and 3 days later, the pictures are wrapped. You know, on a bigger schedule, you work things out, and you can capture that for the whole movie. I wish I had come up with that idea a little earlier, but still, when it happened the first time, I think what it is, we gave the werewolf a cup of water, and I said, you know, before a take, just drool a little bit, just have a little trickle coming down, just to make him growl.
I put the water in my mouth and have to sit there until it's my shot. And sometimes when a line's messed up or a cut, I'll be having this water in my mouth for like 5 minutes or something, and then all of a sudden it doubles because of my own spit coming into it.
Well, action, we're going, and he growls, and because of the teeth and everything, he couldn't hold it in. This thing just plopped out, this like huge cascade of mega drool, and it looked great.
Those monsters were great, and they really were, they were scary to look at.
Rhonda Griffin goes from hideous to heroine to lead the human cast against the creeps.
Right.
We're always blessed, I guess, when a good cast comes together. And it's essential because, you know, if the ensemble group isn't really good, you know, all the other work doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, you can look at a lot of B movies that are made quickly, and I think one thing they have in common is more times than not, the acting's bad, you know. The effects may be good, the story may be interesting, but there's like real bad acting, which I think for the most part you're not going to find in recent Full Moon films. So, I mean, talking about the cast, they're all wonderful. You know, each one, I think, did a wonderful job. I was real happy with Rhonda. I think she, as the heroine of the film, the star of the show, went against character, you know. And, you know, I thought she was really super talented and very credible and kind of, you know, more of kind of an average person you would know as opposed to like a Hollywood star type.
It just seemed like a fun adventure that she goes on. She's sort of like this quiet, reserved librarian, and then she turns into this tough character who gets to run and fight and to be a part of this ride with these monsters. They're horror B movies, you know, and there's definitely a following for them, and I never thought my career would go in this direction, but I'm having a blast.
I was so glad it was funny. You know, it knows what it is, kind of thing, and the characters, of course, don't realize it's funny, but the audience is in on the joke, and we get to do something a little more stylized versus, you know, just your typical horror film genre, you know. The Jane Eyre scene particularly lives on in infamy, I'm sure will haunt me throughout my career.
The scene with the book of Jane Eyre, I think, is unique. I mean, it's always nice to capture something on film you have never seen before, and I think that's one of those moments. You can't point to other movies where anyone makes love to a book.
Oh, my darling Jane.
I definitely am a little scared of my boss. And she was wonderful because we played off each other very well, and she's very talented too. And we just, I don't know, I mean, the rapport that we had together was great, and I had a lot of fun working with her.
Quarles. There's a Rita Mae Brown reading at the Barnes & Noble this evening. I thought if you were free, maybe we could,
Well,
cheese and wine?
Well, actually, I need to do something.
Oh, well, fine. Very good then, Quarles. Good.
There will be a sexual harassment suit in the sequel to this film, I'm sure.
I think I'm hyperventilating and I don't have good blood sugar.
Bill, who played Berber, I mean, I think he's a real discovery. You know, I think he's just a wild character, and every time he's on screen, you have to laugh. You know, at his the way he portrayed that character.
I need some identification.
Oh, yeah, of course, right, of course.
Sometimes Charlie has what's known as the acting police, which he sometimes has to bring in. And in the case of my character, he had to bring in the acting police a couple of times. Because, of course, when you start to fly in this wild character and sputter and stammer, sometimes you just end up only sputtering and stammering, and you sort of lose focus of what is actually supposed to be going on in the scene. It made it a lot more fun to play, though, because you don't have as many rules. Whereas some of the other characters had to be normal, I didn't have to be normal. I think one of the reasons I really liked him right away, the character, is because I could see that he's just, his thought process was just not strong enough to really be a leader. So he was always, no matter what he did, he was always going to be the last guy picked at the basketball game.
One aspect of the story added a new dimension for the cast and crew.
The 3D challenge was doing something that would be effective in 3D, knowing, of course, that only a small percentage of the people seeing this movie will ever see it in 3D until maybe the year 2000 plus, in which case maybe it'll all be 3D on TV. But still trying to come up with some good 3D tricks. So it was definitely a challenge, a lot more difficult than shooting a straight, movie on 35.
The thing that was different than shooting regular film that I found was we had to do a lot of master shots, and that they were the most important. We had to do a lot of master shots, so there wasn't that many close-ups. And so we had to get 4, 5, 6 pages of dialogue, all in one take, without breaking and having close-ups. So the pressure was on a little bit that way.
It was extra hot because the lights for the 3D effects have to be brighter than normal lights. So sometimes it was just boiling. And in the gags, the actual 3D gags where the items are coming at the camera, that was much harder to do than I thought it would be, because you have to have a certain angle. And my taser was my gag, and I'd pull the trigger and it would go out, but you get your perspective for the 3D camera here and the gun ends here. But by the time you are actually into the gag, the thing's way out here. It was a lot more stressful than I thought it was going to be. I figured you just do it, but you have to have it at a certain angle so that it'll play, and you want the audience to be going like that.
Even with all the hard work, the cast and crew found ways to have Pulitzer Prize-winning fun.
I've got snot dripping down my nose into my mouth. You can't tell this, but I can taste it. Let's go. Okay, last
We are here communicating with headquarters. Sure, all is well.
I have a great scream, as you guys probably already know. Thank you.
I think that Lucy Lawless will really feel threatened.
Get a couple more of these bad boys in me and you'll see a Dracula that'll tear you off.
Well, I certainly would like to see them all come back out of the void. I'd like to see Berber come out a little thinner, though. I'd like him to have lost 50 pounds while he's in the void.
I hope this show does well enough and the creeps can come back. I'd love to bring them back, and we can go forever with those guys.
Hey, baby, here's to you.
What the hell is this?
It's just one of them things.
At the Pony Valley Sewage Treatment Facility, strange things are surfacing.
Honey, I gotta tell you, when I first looked into those 2 pairs of baby blues peeking out at me from that bottle of denatured alcohol, I thought of you.
Open the box. It's not human.
She's sneaking behind my back with that gauche, undiscriminating collector of medical garbage, Napoleon Lazar.
I say, if you can't beat him, join him.
It's not an animal.
Don't move, little froggy!
You hoe! I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Come back!
In fact, it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
You 2 want to be left alone?
I think we do.
So what do we do now?
Simple. All 4 of us take a little ride over to Lorca's and get back your goober.
It's hideous.
No one is leaving here until my specimens are returned.
It's alive.
Deformed.
I want my specimen back.
Devious. Depraved. Hideous.
I mean, somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is not normal.
I am God's most desolate creature.
From Full Moon, the creators of the Subspecies Trilogy, comes a new tale of the undead.
Vampires are the spawn of many bloodlines. Some are monstrous creatures forced to hide their faces from society. Others are beings of age-old grace, walking freely through the world of mortals. A fate of endless nighttime, an endless hunger for innocent blood.
She has the gift.
For me, there is no comfort, no rest.
I've initiated you into the mysteries. There is no one to hear you. No hope of rescue. No possibility of escape.
You're becoming reckless, Ash. You're jeopardizing everything.
No! A vampire slayer.
Frightened, Master.
You are no match for me. Keep moving. Soon enough, you will beg me for deliverance.
The Vampire Journals.
Meet the Stackpools. Brother Otis has big muscles and a little brain.
All right. You fight, Otis hits you. You yell, Otis hits you.
I think I got the game plan here, Otis.
Brother Wheeler has big eyes and a little brain.
Holy shit, them some big eyes, brother.
Sister Ernestina has a little brain. And then there's Myron, the head of the family.
We Stackpools all have our peculiarities.
He's got a big brain, and a lot of very weird ideas. Folks sometimes drop into the stack pools. The accommodations might be a bit cramped, and the food is nothing to write home about. But nobody ever leaves.
What the heck's going on around here? Beats the raw shit out of me.
Now someone is trying to make trouble for their happy family.
Unless you want me to go to the law with this, I suggest you talk to me.
And it's bringing the stack pools even closer together.
We'll catch the little fox, and I'll cut that grin right off his face.
Them stack pools is loaded with the green stuff.
And you gonna get it?
Save me, Lance.
Old Lance is coming.
I'm not normally a vindictive person, but in your case, I'm going to make an exception. But don't you worry. You won't have to go through it alone.
Oh my God.
Don't you worry, Sugar Bear. Everything's gonna be just fine.
I've always been attracted to really intelligent men.
And you think you can fill my lonely hours?
I just want to be close to you, honey.
With my ongoing plans for world domination at all, to take time out for romance, I'm afraid it'll just have to be death by torture as planned.
You're my dreamboat.
The stack pools are going to have to move soon, and they may be heading your way. Head of the family.
For more information about our films and to be added to our mailing list, write to Full Moon Pictures, 8721 Santa Monica Boulevard, number 526, West Hollywood, California, 90069. Or visit the Full Moon Pictures website at fullmoonpictures.com.